Well, it's that time of year where I ask you, the Confused Army, to send me your ghost stories. So let's get into it. Come on! What is up? Back, David Confused. We are here again with more Confused Army ghost stories. I love these videos. This is such a good opportunity for me to get to know you guys better, so you guys can send me these experiences that you've had, and we can talk about it, and we can share them. And it's just a big circle of love, you know what I mean? Creepy, scary, ghost-filled love, which is the best kind. Thank you to everybody who participated. I put out a community post a little while ago asking for your ghost stories, and you guys did not disappoint. There were some amazing ones there. But unfortunately, I can only pick a few for this video, but that shouldn't stop you from commenting more of these stories or commenting on these stories, because they're so good. Alright, so let's just dive into it and get with the ghost stories. I read them off my phone because I'm a professional. You heard me. Professional. I went to stay the night at my grandma's house, and I decided to take a selfie in the middle of the night. I don't know why. So I go out to the hall and I take a selfie and I go to sleep. I wake up and I remember that I took a selfie and I checked it out. And it had a face. It had a literal face in the back of my picture. I asked my grandma if they had any ghosts or anything, and sure enough, they had one in the hall. Just my luck. Oh. Okay. And that in itself, I think, would be one of the most terrifying things, because there was clearly a ghost there. There was something there that was around you during the photo, and you had no idea. It's the after feeling, where there was something there, you just didn't know. It knew it was there, and it knew that you didn't know it was there. Does that make sense? No. But it does. Yeah, that's terrifying. That would freak me out. Taking a photo and then behind you is like a literal face. Yeah. Okay, this is a big one. I live in upstate New York, and what is left of an Air Force base that was shut down in the 90s. The base was operational all the way back to the War of 1812, part of which is celebrated yearly as the Battle of Plattsburgh. On this base, there is somewhat a large military cemetery, which is a stop on a popular Greater Adirondack Ghost and Tour Company. So it's like a ghost tour. Clearly something happens at this cemetery because they included it on the tour, right? In one portion of the cemetery, there is a lone tombstone of a child, and in another portion, the mother is laid to rest. It has been seen by many that the mother wonders over where her child's final resting place. Oh! There's also a few of original old posts still standing on the AFB, and if you're lucky enough, you may come across an apparition walking his beat and standing guard. I have only seen him once, so she's seen him, and it left me speechless. As I was driving home from work, I had passed him and was taken back, so I pulled a U-turn in the middle of the road just to verify for myself that I had truly seen him, and he was gone. He was fully recognizable as an old soldier, uniform, gun, and bayonet. Oh my god! So, essentially, in this old military base, which I totally believe the ghost would be there, because that, like, death would be, unfortunately, when it comes to military, part of just normalcy, part of life, right? And so there's a mother ghost that essentially visits her son's grave, which is super sad. Like, I can't even imagine, but that in itself would terrify me, seeing that. Like, that's crazy. And then also, there's like the ghosts of soldiers that worked at this base. And they're clearly the type that took their job so seriously that like in the afterlife, they continue it. They continue to be the soldier that they were when they passed. That's heavy. Oh, if that's the case, if I became a ghost, I would just be like, you'd come in the room and I'd be like on the couch just like eating mac and cheese. Like, oh, how was your day? Ah, yes. Like I would be an awful ghost. I wouldn't scare anybody, but I'd be the ghost that would appear out of nowhere and be like, do you want a Dorito? Do you like Doritos? The Doritos are real, but I'm a ghost. Like, yeah. So one day I was going on a school trip with my grade to a water park. On the way there, you have to pass a graveyard. So I was just looking out the window, bored AF, because my best friend was on the second bus. When passing the graveyard, I decided to take a picture because I'm in photography. When we got back home, I decided to look at the pictures just in case some of them could be in my portfolio. And in some pictures, you can see large orbs, really large orbs. But the weird thing is that some of them were slightly pink. I was really spooked after this and texted my best friend and showed her the pictures, and she said that she got a really bad vibe from them, and also pointed out that it looks to be a white dress showing from behind one of the tombstones. I think this is the scariest thing that has ever happened to me. I hope you used it in your video. Well, I did. Okay, so the orb thing, I have definitely heard of that. That essentially spirits or leftover beings, leftover life after someone has passed, sometimes appear as orbs in photos. That's why they say, like, if you go to a graveyard or an old folks home or like an older like house where essentially there is a history there of it being, you know, haunted, or just, you know, not even in a negative way, just a spirit or two reside at this place. They do tend to become orbs in photos. So that's really interesting. And then the white dress coming from behind a tombstone. What? When I wear all my white dresses, I never go anywhere near tombstones for that reason, because I think someone's gonna take a photo of me in my white dress. So I'm like, you know, like I have a life too. You know, I'm allowed to get dressed. I'm allowed to look good one day of the week. Thanks. No, but that's crazy. Like, seeing the white dress clearly meant something to this apparition, right? Whether it be the clothes they were wearing when they passed, or from a memory that maybe they were thinking about as they passed, something. The white dress is symbolic to this apparition, which is amazing that you got a photo of it. I mean, if it was giving you the bad vibes, ditch it. Cut it out. But it's still cool that you were able to have that experience, right? So there was a time that I was sitting in my room and I started to hear my sister singing. So I got up and told my mom, and she said my sister wasn't even home. So I started freaking out. I also heard it on other times after that. Okay, the interesting thing about this is some apparitions are known to essentially mimic people that live in the house. Like, you know, there's birds that mimic what they hear from their like human owners. Like, you go to a bird and be like, "Hello, Polly," and the bird will be like, "Hello, Polly," right? Like, it mimics you. It has been said before that there are some ghosts that mimic the living. Like, they're trying to kind of pass on a message saying like, "We're here, I'm here," and they do it by mimicking something they hear. So if your sister is like singing and having a good time, and, you know, like as one does in their own home singing, the ghosts may mimic her singing to kind of bring attention to the living, saying like, "Yo, I'm here. You're not alone here." You know what I mean? So that's super interesting. I don't think you see that as often as like other things, like other like moments with the afterlife and stuff. That's really interesting. My brother's girlfriend went trick-or-treating and she was with her friends whose mother had recently passed. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that. They decided to go through the graveyard to see her grave. Her friend felt a tap on her shoulder when she turned around. She tried to scream, but nothing came out. Samara, his girlfriend, turned around and saw it, and it was their mother who had died was standing there. So they ran out the graveyard and stayed home for the rest of the night. Ooh! I wouldn't even... What do you do? What do you do if at that point? What's there to do? You're in a graveyard. You're at the grave of a recently passed family member, and you get a tap on the shoulder, and you turn around, and they're there. That's straight up like 90s scary movie stuff right there. That's movie material. You should write a script and send that to Hollywood and be like, this is it. This is the new horror movie you need to see. This is it. Based on true events. Based on a real story. Oh, I wouldn't even know what to do. Like, I guess there'd be a part of you. Obviously, you'd be terrified, right? Because this person is supposed to be alive, but they're there in front of you. But I think there would be a moment where it's like, it's so good to see you. You know what I mean? Despite, I don't know, that's such a weird situation to be in. But super interesting story. So, thank you for sending me that. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for your scary stories. I really appreciate them. If you have a scary story that you may want in our next video, when I do this again, please put it in the comments below or in one of my community chats. I like to check both, and, I really appreciate you telling me your story, or even commenting on another story, or even commenting on this video, or just saying hi. All of it, all of the above, greatly appreciated. Giving me an accent. So again, please like and subscribe, share the video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Dave, I'm confused, and at least our dog's not a werewolf. Peace.